And welcome to episode number 112 of the Unknown Games Podcast, a show where we talk about video games and our lives here in Japan. And by our, as always, I mean myself, Adrian, and my co-host, Alex. What's up, man?
Nothing. What's up? How's it going?
The sky is always up, man. You gotta at least come in with that one. What's up?
Oh, yeah, unless you're in hell, and then, in which case...
Oh,
yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, hopefully... no one listening is in the underworld at the moment. Hopefully you're all in a nice, calm place somewhere.
What if Satan was like a really big fan of yours?
Do I want him to be a fan of mine? Is that something?
I'm sure he's a cool guy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, to be friends with everybody, you have to be cool, right? You have to be cool. If you a slick dude, you got to be cool with everybody.
Isn't like, okay, so sorry. Like, what's the story about Satan? Is he like in the Bible he's like pure evil, right?
Well, he's I mean, I guess we can chalk him up to being pure evil. Essentially, yeah, he was tired of he was the number one angel. He was the number one archangel.
He was. What was his name? What was his angel name?
Yeah, man, we're gonna get cursed down up for this. His angel name was Lucifer, just like the show.
Oh, it was Lucifer. Yeah.
And no, he was the top dog, and he just decided, you know what, F
He's
this.
like,
I'm tired of being number two.
Yeah,
I want to be number one.
All the media that I've seen, like, so this is anime and games and that kind of stuff. He's never just like pure evil. He's always just like, he's kind of like just running hell essentially, and he's just like, he believes in like what he's doing, even though some people think that's wrong essentially. Yeah.
I mean, like, if you think about it, if you were, you try to stage an uprising, right? And then like next thing you know, you lose. You're like, dang, I lost.
Yeah, you're cast out as the. Yeah.
Well, technically, you still got what you wanted, just not the right way, right? You wanted to rule, but you didn't get the rule in the way you want to. So you're like salty. So,
well, I mean, they always say that history is written by the victors, yeah?
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm sure Satan's a cool guy, yeah.
And he's right next
Satan,
to you.
Satan, if you're listening now, go ahead, leave a comment. Tell us what's up. Tell us what's going on.
Everybody said, okay, and 2022 is coming into existence right now. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but who knows? Yeah, I'm sure he'll say hello too. Just be careful. You don't want the grudge girl like in your closet. Or
it'd be so funny if I had just like
you just summoned
condemn myself to hell, like
freaking Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
you just Beetlejuice yourself, and next thing you know, it's like you've got a friend.
Well, I'm sure he's a cool dude. But yeah, all right.
Anyways, thanks everyone for tuning in. If you're listening to us live on YouTube, we are podcasting every Monday for like about an hour in the morning. Well, it's in the evening here in Japan. It's like 9 p.m. So if you want to hop in,
if you could definitely be starting your morning listening to us. Assuming we had a consistent like start time every week, which we don't. But yeah.
We don't. I'm sorry, everybody. We're like semi-consistent. I think it's more consistent to like 8:45, 9 p.m. Japan Standard Time, but it's not like 100%. Like,
I mean, I think a lot of people don't start on time, which is fine, unless you're like a radio show host. We kind of have to be. Can you imagine if it was a morning show? It's like
like start your morning with
doesn't start
with Adrian and Alex.
Day.
Yo, that would be hype. We should get that. Start your morning with Adrian and Alex, like just like an intro type thing, you know?
The AA, I like it. Yeah.
The AA. Oh my goodness, the AA. Oh snap! Wait, can we do that? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing?
That's a bad thing.
that would feel like we would get like people would be like, no, that's not cool.
Yeah. And anyone who's actually at AA right now just offended.
We are very sorry. We did not mean that. But our names do start with A and A.
Yeah,
so,
it works out. Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else we can do outside of the it's the game duck in the. That's kind of cool too. Start your morning with the game duck in the. I
Yeah, I
forgot
like that. I
who
like
the
that
heck
as
was
well.
I?
We should get mugs.
The
Hey, we should get custom mugs. You want to do that?
custom mugs with the characters on them, or custom mugs that
Yeah.
say like the failure chicken with the
Yeah,
character.
and then
Oh,
we can drink out of them on the
that would
podcast.
that would be pretty cool.
You
Actually,
know,
I like that idea.
do you use Streamlabs or Stream Elements?
Yes.
Yeah, so they have a merch store that you can use technically. So if you want to just upload the design as your own merch and then buy your own
Oh, and this
merch.
buy my own merch. Like, oh yeah, like I couldn't really do much, but I really
Yeah,
want.
buy your
I
merch.
love
We
this.
yeah, we
Buy-
should do that.
I should. So I'm going back to the U.S. You know what I should do is I should buy my own merch and then hand it out to everybody at home as a Christmas present. Like,
And then be like, what is this? Get the
yo,
hell out of here. Like,
we done
why didn't
made
you
it
get me an
big.
actual gift?
Exactly.
So funny.
Oh man. So yes, thank you all for listening on like I said, YouTube. So and if you aren't listening on YouTube, seeing our beautiful faces, go ahead, follow us on YouTube, Unknown Games Podcast. And then if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast, Google Play, all those cool places, leave a review, 5 stars, all that good stuff. And then finally follow us on Twitch because we do stream pretty much. I stream on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at NinjaTrix, NinjaTrix. And then you can catch my co-host, Alex, at Route24, ROUTE 24, the numbers.
Right. The Arabic numerals. Arabic?
The
Arabic? Sorry,
Arabic,
That's
the
how you
Arabic
pronounce it.
numerals.
Arabic. The Arabic numerals. Did
Wait,
you
how'd you
know
get
that
that
there are some people
pronunciation?
that Did you know that there's some people that don't know that those are Arabic numerals?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know what? I should say yes because I can assume that everyone can't know everything. Let's get real.
That's true. That's
Let's
fair.
get real. I can't assume everyone knows everything.
Yeah.
I see that every day in life.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, anyways, I
Yeah.
guess moving on. I mean, like today, there hasn't been too much news. We had just finished the Game Awards last Thursday, or Friday for us here in Japan, Friday morning. And I know I've watched it. Did you watch any of the Game Awards or?
No, dude, I was like sleeping I
No, you would've been at
I was
work.
working,
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
I was like, I don't want to turn this on right now. I'm kind of working. So what I was doing, I was like refreshing Twitter,
Oh, just checking the news.
and I was going to some websites and refreshing the news for live updates. But that's all I was doing. So I was following it live, kind of, but not actually like watching it.
Like semi. I mean, because a lot
Yeah.
of the announcements out there were pretty big. Were there any announcements that caught your eye?
Yeah, I mean, as a JRPG fan, as a Persona fan, obviously, Persona 4, Persona
Is it
4 Arena
Ultimax
Ultimax.
Arena?
Yeah, getting re-released essentially was a cool one for me. I realized Persona's getting really big, especially with the release of 5 a couple years ago. That's kind of when Persona really hit the mainstream. I mean,
Right,
4 was
right.
getting really popular, but 5 really skyrocketed them. So there's a lot of people who just are now hungry for more Persona games, and I
Exactly.
think Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, longest name ever. It's actually worse in Japanese. The Japanese name is even worse, but that game being released is a really good chance for people to check out the game for the first time, essentially, because it's trapped on PS3 and maybe Xbox. I'm not sure. Maybe just PS3.
Right.
But what might turn some people off is that it's a fighting game, and I understand that not everyone likes fighting games.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I want to say if you are a fan of Persona 4 and in particular, like in Persona 3 and Persona 4, if you're a fan of both those games, but you haven't played Persona 4 Arena because the fighting part of it turned you off, I would absolutely recommend that you still pick it up and just turn the game to like easy or whatever. Turn it to the easiest difficulty because the game has a huge story mode. It's legitimately a huge story mode.
I mean, they did lead off
Yeah.
with saying, "Do you ever wonder what happened after Persona 4?" I mean, like that's what the trailer says. Like it's like one of those things. So it's, I mean, from the off the bat, even if you didn't play the game, like, hey, even if you're not in the fighters, like you said, this is story stuff.
If
Like,
you
it's
are a
there.
fan of Persona 3 and Persona 4, because spoiler alert, the game ties both those games together. So absolutely, you should be checking it out. It's a really good story. Well, for a fighting game, it's a really good story. but
for a fighting game, it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty good stuff.
yeah. So for me, that was that, and also I guess the Sonic teaser was kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah, the Sonic teaser. I mean, I guess I can pull some of this stuff up. I mean, like there was a crap ton of there. So I've got this up from Polygon.com. You know, we get our
Yeah.
news from there and other sources as well. But uh, yeah, Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah, it's as everyone knows, Sonic goes in this what's the word? A cycle of
I thought
good
you were gonna
bad
say
games,
Sonic
good
goes
bad, good bad,
fast.
right? Well,
Yeah,
good
yeah, yeah,
good games and bad games. I think everyone can agree that Sonic Forces was bad.
yeah. So are we on
So we're on the good game.
we're on the good game?
Yeah.
And I
So
mean,
front
like,
yeah.
I was gonna say though, like when you saw the trailer, right?
Yeah. It's super short, but hey, it looks fine. Looks good.
It
Yeah.
was yo, bro. I have to say two things about it. Number one, I swore there was Kingdom Hearts music in the background. It
Well,
it sounded like Kingdom Hearts music. I don't know what, but I'm pretty sure it's Kingdom Hearts music. And then like secondly, is this like open world Sonic? Is this Breath of the Wild Sonic or something?
with a name like Frontier, maybe.
It's super open. Like all the environments are showing, it just looks like everything is connected. And for some reason, Sonic looks like he's about to go fight a something from Xenoblade for a second. Like
I
Sonic, what are you
really okay,
fighting?
so
That's
that's
20
gonna be
times the size of you.
truly yeah. If Sonic is gonna be open world, I want to know how they're gonna do it, because like the appeal of Sonic games is going fast, right?
But the good thing is if it's open world, you can always go fast.
Yeah,
Like
but
like
it's
that's
not
actually a good
fun
thing,
if it's a
right?
straight line. You know what I mean?
But
Like,
you can zigzag yourself, or maybe there's. I mean, I guess because here's the thing that Sonic has always for me had an issue of. When I was a kid, I loved it because I loved going super fast and skipping half of the area, like skipping
yeah,
half of the
like just
stage,
jumping over,
right?
like doing the level. Because like if you guys have played a 2D Sonic game, there are multiple paths in a Sonic game, and if you
Right.
do the jump perfectly or you do the thing perfectly, you'll kind of skip like a huge section, and it feels really good.
And yeah, and you can sometimes you land and it just continues. You know, it's just like
Yeah,
it's
but
crazy.
if you miss your jump or you hit your head or something, you'll kind of fall to a slower section of the stage,
Right, right,
right? And that's how the 2D Sonic games work. So I mean, the fun part of Sonic games is like get doing the level perfectly, essentially.
right. And I mean, like even from looking here, there there doesn't seem to be like a track or something from like
Yeah, that's
Sonic
the thing. That's
3D.
the thing
There's
about yeah.
not like
So
uh there's
like
nothing like boost or anything. Like
it's fun to go fast, right?
right.
But if it's just all open, then like, is it Sonic? Because imagine, okay, let's take a like imagine I guess you never played Death Stranding or anything, but like if you have any open world game and you just put yourself on a motorcycle, it's fun, sure, to ride around, but like
Right, right.
is you know what I mean? There's gotta
Yeah,
be
yeah. I mean, like at one point, how much fun are you having? And because, like, I think in this case, Sonic, like an open world Sonic, you can definitely lean more into the maybe some platforming, maybe some. I don't know, right? It's kind of flat. So what will they lean into? Honestly,
I'm
we
yeah,
don't
if
have
they
any
can
other characters in this trailer to kind of go off of,
if
other
they can
than
do it right, then I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fun somehow. But I want to know how they're gonna put the Sonic formula into an open world. We're just guessing it's open world though. Just based on the trailer, we don't know if it's open world, right? This could just be this could be instanced areas, if that makes any sense.
that is a pretty big instance area. It looks like I mean like yeah, they are definitely large, and you can see some of the structures in it. Like honestly, you can see some of the structures that you can maybe like run up really fast or, but it's definitely not as apparent as it would be in a 2D or even like the 3D versions from
Yeah. So
in the
I mean,
past.
have you played Sonic Forces or no?
No, no, I don't think I want to play it.
It was free on Plus, but
I have it, then I
oh,
guess
you should play it then. It's not. I mean, it's free.
it's free. If you can get a Sonic game for free, then it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, I paid for Sonic Forces actually, believe it or not, because I wanted to play, and they were like releasing soundtrack, songs from the soundtrack before the game came out. I'm like, oh, these songs are bangers. These are all good. So I bought the
That's
game.
the one thing that Sonic never fails on.
Yeah,
Darn soundtrack be off the
yeah.
charts.
So I bought Sonic Forces because like the soundtrack was really good, but the world uses a level select system, and it's just like sorry, the game uses a level select system, and just like the world. So it's like here's your location, here's location, and then it's just like oh, I want to go here, and then it just like you're in a sandbox level essentially, either as 2D Sonic or 3D Sonic.
Right, right.
Um, So what I'm imagining, like, it's probably not the case, but I'm seeing the trailer and seeing it be so damn big.
Mm-hmm.
It could still be level select, but it just has the illusion of being this huge
Just
interconnected world, kind
huge
of like Sonic
interconnected.
Forces, which is all over the world, right? But
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like maybe you go to a warp point and then you warp
yeah, and then
to.
it takes you to like a sandbox level, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that was something. Anything else that you saw that was kind of that caught your attention?
Let me take a look at my website here. I don't know, Among Us VR.
Yo, the Among Us VR with the shortest trailer,
And I was like, what the fuck?
but
Why?
was
But then
like,
I was
excuse
like,
me, excuse
yeah,
me. It really is like an excuse me moment because who was asking for this?
like
I'm gonna
probably
be
no
real with
one.
you.
Yeah, honestly, probably no one.
Like sometimes I feel like they are reaching because they haven't added another map outside of the
Airship,
airship,
airship, yeah.
and I don't know why was I mean, it's not a bad thing. Let's face it, it's not a bad thing. It's just why?
I don't know. The thing about Among Us VR is like still we talk about VR every now and then on this podcast, but VR is still relatively niche, right?
Right, right.
Among Us, however, I would say at this point is no longer niche. Everyone has Among Us or has heard of it. It's free on mobile devices and it's very cheap on PC and I think also very cheap on consoles. Basically, it's made for anyone to
Right,
play,
right.
even if you are not a quote unquote a gamer. Like this is something like you could be like, "Hey mom, let's play Among Us." It's just go to the app store, play this, download this thing
Yeah.
called Among Us. Like it's meant for like a
Hey, mom, can I?
yeah
You trade. You betrayed me.
yeah. It's
Dark as heck, man.
mom kills you. That's funny.
It's dark as
Anyways, no, but like Among Us is mass appeal at this point. But the Oculus Quest 2 is still several dollar, and it's cheap for VR, but
It's cheap. Yeah, it's like
it's
300. I think
it's
300. Yeah,
cheap for VR, we gotta say, but there's a little asterisk there that not everyone is willing to put down that much money for VR, right?
no, I mean that's true. I would say that, or I guess we have to call this what the Meta Quest 2 is what it's officially called.
Oh yeah, they're changing it. Yeah, thanks,
I
thanks
will
Facebook.
say one thing. Like RE4 definitely got some core gamers kind of hype on the Oculus, the Meta Quest 2, and maybe this is something that they kind of start doing is just getting more of these kind of non-niche games, like more high profile things that maybe
Yeah,
they've come out before, but hey, here's a spin. Here, this is it in VR, and if they
I
do
mean,
it right,
I gotta say,
maybe it works.
VR certainly is a chicken and egg situation. It's like I don't want to buy VR because there's nothing to play, and there's nothing to play because no one's buying VR.
Right.
But eventually, if VR is to one day hit, mass market appeal, it has to start somewhere, and perhaps this is where it starts. So,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
and if it's Oculus pushing it forward, I think a lot of people at that's probably the most popular handset or the handset that's in the most people just
I
because
would say
it is.
absolutely, it's the most
Yeah,
accessible. It's definitely among the cheapest, and it's among the most convenient, as there's no wires, and you don't need a PC with it. Yep.
exactly, exactly.
The
So
early days of VR had an extremely high bar because you needed not only $1,000 headset, you also needed a several $1,000 PC.
exactly,
But now with those requirements basically getting a little more easier, VR in the next 5 years perhaps, could get a
could
little more
actually
mass market. I don't know if we'll ever see a day where VR overtakes home console gaming. Like, there's no longer like
it would.
PS6,
I feel like it would still be like a attachment kind of thing, like a side, like or
yeah,
something that some people are really into.
it'll never replace console gaming, right?
And until we hit that SAO level, whew,
Oh yeah, that's true.
so
Like
we
dive
just
level.
dive level. When we hit the dive level, that's it. We're done. We're done.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Oh man. I mean, I guess
I don't,
from. Oh yeah.
yeah, sorry, yeah, go
Continue.
ahead, Ben. What were you gonna what's your thing?
I was just gonna say for me there was, I mean there was a lot of announcements. I'm just, like I said, we're looking at the this list off Polygon, and apparently PUBG is going free to play.
Yep.
I'm just scrolling down the page.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That was
I heard
something.
about that.
The Cuphead
Mhm.
DLC looked honestly was actually pretty cool. I'm glad that maybe I'll be able to play some more Cuphead. And hold up, let me just go up to the one thing. I know I talked about this last week. Senua Saga Hellblade 2.
Right.
I was actually really glad to finally see this again, even though there is still some mystery in terms of like what is this game 100% about, because the first game it's like the first game is 100% about the voices in her head and her dealing with the loss of someone she loved. So
Right.
yeah,
Hmm.
someone she loved. There we go. In this game, at the end of that game, she comes to terms with the voices and she accepts it and she accepts the loss, the grief, all that.
Right.
That's kind of dealt with. Now I don't know what exactly is happening, and this is a really long. This is actually a relatively long trailer. It's like 6 minutes. I wouldn't
Yeah,
call it
and
a
I mean the
trailer.
game was announced. When was the game announced actually?
So this game was announced, I believe, at the Video Game Awards
Like
in
2 years ago?
2019
Yeah,
when they
damn.
announced the Xbox Series X. This was the first game that they
Oh,
showed,
right, right, right.
and then it just went. That was it. They never talked about it again. And yeah, it came back this VGA's, and it seems like everything that we see is in game. It's something where they're trying to blend the cinematic experience into the gameplay experience, which I mean, it definitely looked really nice. But at the same time, like it doesn't really give you much as to what's happening. The voices are still in her head, and that stuff is still like the audio mix on this is insane. Like I love how they do that, but yeah, I don't know. So I'm not like super excited, but I'm just glad to see it again, and it's coming to PC, of course, and I'm gonna pick it up. That's like day one
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
Did you play? Did you play any of the first game?
No, I didn't actually.
It's a good game. Like I think you would like it just because you really do have to you have to wear headphones for that game.
Yeah, I heard the audio. What I don't want to say engineering. So the audio design. Yeah, audio design. I heard the audio design for that game was like really, really, really good.
It's yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's amazing how much like they put into it and how much like at any given time you really are going off the feedback of those voices. There's like 4 or 5 different voices in your head and they're not all the same level. Sometimes
Right.
they switch, but by the what's cool about them is they teach you how to play the game or it's like there's something around the corner, don't go around the corner, you go around the corner and you're gonna die. Like they're just telling you these things and it's up to you whether you think they're real or not. Sometimes there isn't anything around the corner, sometimes there is. So it's actually kind of cool how they kind of mess with you um like that. But yeah, so the trailer, it was a nice trailer or whatever, but I was glad to see it back in the spotlight a little bit. We did get a Halo TV show.
Oh yeah, we did see that. That was
That was something.
this isn't the first Halo TV show, right? Like they
This
had one earlier. They had a mini
they
series, I think,
they had a mini series
a couple of years ago,
a
right?
couple of years ago. I remember watching it. I think it's
Mhm.
like 6 episode. Was it 6 episodes or like a movie? It was like a movie length or
Yeah,
something. It was,
something like that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was okay. But this looks like they're going in. This is gonna be on Paramount Plus, and
Wait, what?
it's
Sorry, hold on. What the fuck is Paramount Plus?
this is. Well, hold on. Let's see. Let's go there to their Twitter. I need to sign in Twitter sometimes. Paramount Plus is Paramount streaming service that they just started.
There's too many. There's too many of these things. No,
Yeah,
there's too many of these things.
I
You guys
think
gotta
this
stop.
includes like a CBS content and some other stuff, which is kind of annoying because Star Trek Discovery got pulled from international uh, sites like Netflix, basically.
Can you imagine? Oh,
For this.
I hate this. Can you imagine having to subscribe to like 3 different things or 4 different things?
If you want to watch Halo, apparently this is what you got to do. It's an
Yeah,
original. Like this is the only way you're watching it. And maybe Microsoft does something where you can watch it on if you have Game Pass or if you have
that would be a good deal.
Gold
That would
or
be
something.
a good deal. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would be I would really like for them to do that because this service isn't available like for us in Japan. It's not available for us. It's only available in
Like North
49
America?
countries by the end of next year, if I remember.
Okay. Okay.
Japan ain't on that list, so we
No.
we couldn't watch it. And I mean, it looks like they're definitely putting in that production in there. And who knows? Maybe it's I love how it's just gonna be like, ooh, Halo for 2 seconds in the soundtrack or sound. Anyways, it looks nice though. Master Chief is Master Chief.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I think the universe can be interesting for Halo. I've only played a couple of the games, and I've seen like I've only dabbled in the lore a little bit, but I think it has the potential to be a pretty decent sci-fi series. Yeah.
I think so too. I mean, we've got. I feel like every service has their kind of sci-fi thing that they kind of like. This is sci-fi for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Netflix has a couple, of course. I think Amazon is like The Expanse, and I don't know what Hulu's is, honestly. Hulu's like a mix max of stuff, so who knows what that is. But
Yeah, Hulu's. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff on Hulu, especially because we're in Japan, so our catalog is kind of like it's a little bit different for
it's a little
us.
bit different, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different for us. So that'll be coming in 2022, and all most of the announcements, if I have to like be real, most of the stuff is coming in 2022. There weren't any like 2023 announcements, and I guess I can just run down the list really quickly.
Yeah.
So we had an update on the Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. That was a trailer for that, which was pretty cool. Star Wars Eclipse, which is being done by Quantic Dream and
Which is kind of
Lucas,
cool.
which is
Yeah.
strange as I don't know what they're gonna do. We can probably talk about it later. But yeah, Star Wars Eclipse, Wonder Woman game is now being made by Monolith Productions, the people who do Middle Earth: Shadow of War. Alan Wake 2, Forspoken got another trailer focused on, I guess, the kind of enemy character, the what do you call it? The antagonist. There we go.
Right.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I think they had another trailer for something else as well. Elden Ring had a story trailer. You thought you couldn't get hype on Elden Ring anymore, and well, I got hype on it again.
Yeah, the game is coming out soonish.
Yeah,
Soon enough.
February 22nd, I think, somewhere
Yeah,
around there.
at this point, they're probably gonna start dripping trailers, right? So no one forgets about it until it comes out.
I can't imagine there was any. Well, there might be like a multiplayer trailer. I think like the co-op trailer or something, because we have,
Right.
and maybe another open beta or stress test. Sorry, stress
Right.
test kind of deal.
Right.
Sonic Frontiers, Slitterhead, which is
It's a
coming.
little interesting, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have to talk about that. The Lord of the Rings, Gollum. Didn't anyone ask for this? Did anyone ask for our precious to even be here?
Yeah, no.
Tiny Tina's Wonderland's got an update that for a story trailer. Of course, Among Us VR, like we talked about. Star Trek Resurgence and Arc Raiders. Dude, that game coming from Embark Studios looks like some sort of Earth Defense Force, but in 60 FPS.
Which could be fun. I don't know.
Which is probably better than Earth Defense Force, which goes in 20 FPS. So, hey, it works.
Is it? Wait, I've actually really played one. Is the frame rate like really that bad?
I think except for what is the most current one? Yes, they all dip to like 20. It's like 30 subpar FPS. They go down.
It gets like it's like playing a slideshow.
It's like playing a sideshow sometimes. Yes.
Oh man, that sucks.
And yeah, I don't know if you checked it out, the Matrix Resurrections plus Awakens.
Oh
or the,
yeah, no. I saw screenshots and I was like, that looks like Keanu Reeves, like actually Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
but,
it's I
yeah.
watched a little bit of it, but yeah, you can. It's only available on PS5 and
Xbox, yeah.
Xbox, but you can just watch a 4K version on YouTube, and it's the same. Rumbleverse,
Right.
which is a brawler, like wrestler brawler, BR game. The Expanse, Telltale. Yeah, I didn't know Telltale games were still around.
Yeah, they kind of. I heard they
I
had.
didn't know they were
trouble
around. I thought,
coming out too many games. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, okay, well then, hey, live on, I guess. Homeworld 3, Crossfire X, Nightingale.
Wait, so Crossfire X was there? I didn't realize.
Yeah, they had a launch date reveal trailer for
Oh, when is the day coming out?
It's coming out on February 10th.
Oh boy.
Another
Actually,
February. Like half the games in here are
what?
February.
I'm a little curious about Crossfire. I gotta admit.
You want to hit it up? Crossfire.
Yeah.
And then the Cuphead stuff. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie, which showcasing
Yes, yeah.
Idris Elba as Knuckles. Which
As
I got
Knuckles.
was Knuckles. I thought that was actually. I thought the trailer was actually pretty nice.
Yeah, you saw the trailer. Yeah, yeah.
That was good. And outside of that, I think that's about it. Dune Spice Wars and Thirsty Suitors.
Yeah.
That was a kind of interesting indie game, which I was like, oh man, I might want to play this on stream, but I have no clue if I will. But yeah, where do you want to start? I think we like Slitterhead. Like, you want to talk about Slitterhead or Star Wars Eclipse?
I actually don't really care about Star Wars, to be honest, but I mean, did you watch the trailer? Is there any what's to note about it?
I think like the one thing to note about this trailer, it's two and a half minutes, or almost 3 minutes, sorry.
Sure.
And for a while, I didn't know what it was. It was just introduced as like a new IP. The music is set up like Dune. It's like really good. I gotta say,
Uh-huh.
this cinematic, this trailer is really good. Then Lucasfilm's games, you're like, oh shit, this is a Star Wars game. And I started thinking, like, is this that canceled Star Wars game that EA was working on at one point in time before Fallen Order? Like, what is this? And it's just people drumming. You don't know what it is, but it looks really nice. And all intents and purposes, it could just be a movie. I'm not gonna lie, it could have just been a
Right.
movie.
Sure.
And there's no gameplay or anything, but it's not until the end when the Quantic Dream logo comes up
And
that
you're like, what
really
the fuck? Yeah.
that makes you say like WTF.
So like,
Uh,
wait, yeah, like, wait, this isn't a movie at all. Yeah.
this isn't a movie. And it was introduced as going to be a new game, anyways. It looks really nice, but Quantic Dream does what do you want to call this? Like choose your
Uh,
own adventure stuff. Like
kind of. Yeah. It's
I've
kind of
never
like,
seen them do action in a game. Fahrenheit has some action. They're action sequences though.
yeah, Quantum Dream, I guess they do kind of like Western visual novels, kind of like, you know,
Right. Detroit, Heavy Rain,
yeah, and sure, the other one,
the Beyond, Two
yeah,
Souls.
that's the one, yeah,
Yeah. I think there's only like four really that people might
yeah.
know.
But no, they do basically just story games. There's
hmm
not game. There is technically gameplay, but mostly it's just kind of story, right? You're kind of there to experience a narrative,
Exactly.
which is
Exactly.
fine, honestly. Like games are games can be all sorts of different things. Like you played similar games in Japan, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's true. That's very true.
some of my
Uh,
favorite games are like that, you know. So
yeah. So it's just one of those things where kind of wondering how it's gonna play. That I think the bigger thing with Quantic Dream doing, it seems like it's actually a joint thing between Lucasfilm Games and Quantic Dream. So it's kind of they're working together on it. It's not just a full, you know, one is doing it solely. It seems. I guess the thing was, and this is what a lot of people who watched, and me and Ehe, we were watching this, and we were just like, what? Because Quantic Dream was caught up in kind of like the Me Too stuff, along with Ubisoft during that time, right?
yeah,
They had some really bad stuff coming out of this, and
perpetual Ubisoft,
yeah,
yeah,
Mr. Keeley was talking about the Activision stuff right before this trailer, like
yep.
we need to support the industry, support the people who make it, and keep it safe. And then we have this trailer. It drops with that, and I think that was probably bigger news than the trailer itself. At like everyone, it just felt like it was like, oh, Jeff, what happened? What? So I'm still kind of I'm hype on the IP in the game, and I hope it's good. And we'll see how it goes. I'm not I don't know. Maybe things have changed. I don't know. But that's all that was there for Star Wars. Good
Yeah.
old Star Wars. Splitter. Did you watch any of the Splitterhead stuff?
I saw screenshots of it and I was like, yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Thought it's kind
Yeah,
of weird.
the game is weird, man. So it's
Yeah, so who's
from
making it again? It's the guys behind
behind Silent Hill.
Silent Hill, yeah.
So they left Konami, I think, yeah, in 2020. It's
Yeah.
like three of them. They left in 2020, and this, Bokeh Game Studio, and founded this.
It's
Good.
funny that like, well, not funny, but Konami is just like leaking creativities, their creative people.
I mean, we talked about this with Persona. Well, this is a little bit different, right? They didn't go freelance; they just left.
They like
Like
left.
we might
Yeah.
have talked about this a little bit before that with like Bloodstain talk. Like how
Yeah.
more and more Japanese creators, like the OG ones, that create a lot of these franchises, are now, you know, either working freelance or doing their own
Like they're,
studios.
they're growing indie essentially, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, this game, it looks like a like just kind of weird, but I honestly, when I saw it, I was like, you know what? Take Tokyo Ghostwire. This is much better.
Yeah, this looks pretty I don't know, man. It's tough. It looks it's tough to put this into words. Like it's like it's not supernatural. It's just like the weird kind of gruesome Japanese like
Japanese horror,
yeah.
yeah, with weird, freaky Parasite like.
It's definitely I can definitely think I definitely do think though this will have the blood and the what is it like the soul of a Silent Hill game behind
Uh-huh,
it. Like
uh-huh.
it'll probably feel a lot like Silent Hill. I mean, it's director and the composer, so you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I came out. I was really shocked because I wasn't expecting that, and it's it's genuinely because I didn't think they were going to put something out this quick, but it looks good. I'm excited for next year for horror games. We got the Dead Space remake
But
coming
did
out
they say
again.
for sure this is 2022
That's a
or
good
just announced?
question.
Because
It's
this could be like a Death Stranding kind of thing where they announce Death Stranding and it doesn't come out for a couple of years.
you
This could
know
be the
what
same thing. Yeah,
there is no actual
like
release
date, right?
date. Yeah, yeah. There's no
Yeah.
window or anything like that. So
This might be a Death Stranding kind of thing where it's out. It's a couple of years out from now.
yeah, yeah. I could honestly see that too. Maybe 2023 or something.
Yeah.
Um, but hey, kudos to them for getting something out and announced and on a big show. I mean, arguably the show's larger than it
Mm.
needs to be. This was a 3 hour show.
Yeah, it was. It
I got to
was.
the 2 hour mark and I felt like a kid in the bathroom, like a kid in the movie theater. Like I need to use the bathroom. Like, is it still going? That's honestly my how I
I
felt.
definitely feel like yeah now like the Game Awards is it's where a lot of the announcements are like as opposed to E3.
Yeah, I mean it's 29 right here. 29 games essentially, all premieres. No one knew anything
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Uh, anything else? Did we?
FF7 PC, I guess.
Yes, FF7 PC. Yeah, coming in with I think both that and Forspoken have a price tag of $70 on Epic Game Store, and I assume if it's on Steam, just anywhere around
FF7 is exclusive to Epic Games
Epic Game
Store.
Store,
I
and
think I think Forspoken.
I think it is on both Epic and yeah, it's on Epic and Steam. It's on both. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the first. I could be wrong. I think this is the first PC game priced at $70. Because for a while, like PC gaming, like PC games were 60. They stayed at 60.
Uh huh. Uh-huh.
I think this might be the first one to hit $70.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, I think they're gonna start charging just similar to the console releases. I mean, just how it kind of naturally becomes for those next gen console versions.
Yeah.
And I mean, it looks like, of course, you're not gonna be able to transfer your saves from your PlayStation to your PC.
No, sadly, no.
You,
I would love it if you could, but I guess I'm gonna be
you gotta redo.
playing from level one again. But yeah,
But it does come with, this is the intergrade, so it does come with Yuffie's story as well. So you'll be able to play the whole, everything, which is nice.
yeah. There it says like it's the same price as the PS5 version, but a price that PC gamers aren't used to paying. Yeah,
Mm. Yeah.
yeah. So this is like most PC games are still $60, right?
Right. Right. Which it's kind of crazy because I guess I was seeing stories that it's kind of hard to believe that we still only pay $70 for some of these games that cost hundreds of millions of dollars. You know what I mean?
To make, yeah.
Yeah, to make, like, why we're not paying 80 or $90 instead. I think we'd all flip out if we paid that much, but it's kind of like the movies.
Yeah, I always look at it as a dollar proposition or like a entertainment to dollar proposition or something like that, or like how many hours I get out of it. But I got like so for FF7 on PS4, I played it for 45 hours, right?
Right, right.
But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Was it
Hmm.
worth it for me? Yeah, I'd say so. And by the way, I paid for it in Japanese yen. I bought it in Japan with
Oh, so you
Japanese
paid like
pricing.
the 9,000 or something? Was
So
it 9,000?
I paid 9,000 yen for it. Yeah,
Dude,
I
why do
paid
they
90
do that?
paid 90 bucks.
I
Yeah,
just don't. I mean, we've talked about it time and time again.
yeah.
We just don't know why. Like,
Why does Japan price that much money for their games?
yeah, why do they do that?
I
We
think it's because like for the longest time they've done it and got away with it.
and people still
Yeah.
pay. Like, you can kind of have like an understanding, like, oh, they're charging the foreign markets that much. No, they're charging the home market this much.
Yeah. So I bought FF7 Remake in Japan, like from the Square Enix online store, because I wanted the Steelbook bonus that
Mhm.
came with it, and yeah, it was 9,000 yen, so I paid $100 for that boy. Was it worth it? Sure. Yeah, I had a really good time with it, and I genuinely enjoyed the game.
It's
So
a great game. I enjoyed it
yeah,
too.
I feel like I feel like I got like $90 worth of enjoyment out of it.
Right.
Obviously, that's subjective. That's relative. Like some people would be like, no, like this wasn't worth $90 or something. I don't know. Like for sure there'll be people like that, right? But
Right. Right.
at least for me personally, like I can justify a game if I feel like that much money was my experience was worth that much money, right?
Right.
So, for example, I mean, if you play a game on Steam, like the Chillo's Arts game, those games are like $5, right?
They're about $5 a gameplay too.
They're
About
only
five.
like 2 hour games. They're really short. They're only 2 hours.
Some of
But
them are only an hour. Like,
yeah, yeah. But like, that's true because like played Ghost Train, that was an hour. But like, was my time worth $5? If the answer is yes, then I have nothing to complain about. So
yeah. I mean, I think we saw that a lot with. I remember this discussion first popping up for real with. I think it was like flour.
oh yeah,
When it, 'cause I forgot how much flour costs, but like
like 20
essentially,
bucks maybe. Yeah,
yeah, it was. What you're doing flour. It's not much.
yeah.
And
It's
it's
kind of
over in
like
like 30 minutes or less. I
yeah,
forgot. I really enjoyed Flower. Same thing with Journey. Journey's
yeah. Journey, yeah.
maybe an hour or less experience, but um, it's going to be interesting to see like when games start to cost something like an 80 or $90 overseas, right? When that is the norm, like how things, how people might respond, and maybe these services, like you said, we were talking about this last week about Game Pass and streaming games becoming more prevalent. I was like, well, I think people will still go to the store, or the internet's not there. But if you had a choice of maybe having to stream it for a subscription instead
Mm-hmm.
of buying it
Mm-hmm.
for $89, the no-brainer, right? If you can stream it, stream.
Yeah, and then you're kind of locked into the streaming service, which is basically what they want, right?
Mm-hmm,
I have
mm-hmm.
this problem, honestly. I have this problem with Spotify because I've been paying for Spotify Premium for like 5 years or something now, right?
And you have so much on your
Yeah,
collection that it's
right. Correct. So my library on Spotify is like huge now. It's like hundreds and hundreds of tracks of like music that I've liked. So I'm like, oh, I like this album. I like this album. I like this song or whatever, right?
yeah,
It's all on
yeah,
Spotify. So if I were to ever leave Spotify and I wanted that library back, it would cost me hundreds of dollars to repurchase like my library.
yep.
So I'm like trapped on Spotify now.
You're trapped.
But
You're in
it
the
was
ecosystem.
cheaper
You're
because like
hard.
yeah, because the value proposition with Spotify, it's like, oh, it's $10 a month for the price of one album. You have every album, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But
Especially like how we listen, because I would listen on the train or like commuting,
yeah,
right? And that's
yeah,
they have a free tier of X amount of hours per month, but
you get like
if
ads or whatever. But yeah,
yeah, but if
yeah.
you're actually listening, X amount of hours a day, like that's nothing. You got it. You got to
Yeah,
stay with
yeah,
it.
and that's I think that's a good way to sell it. Is like, oh, for the price of one album, you have whatever you want to listen to ever. Period. Right.
Right, right.
But no, so as an example, actually, a little anecdote. Like last year, I was so when I stream, I play like chill, like lo-fi video game covers on
Okay.
my stream, right?
Yep, yep, yep.
It's like all on Spotify. A lot of the stuff that I use is all on Spotify, right?
Right.
So I just when I stream, I actually have my playlist like going shuffle repeat, and if I'm doing a just chatting scene, I have music turned up. If I have gameplay, then I just have the music muted.
Right, right.
But I would do that, and my music would be playing for hours. And at the end of 2020, like when Spotify does its Unwrapped kind of thing, right?
Mhm.
My Unwrapped for last year on Spotify was so skewed. It was all like stream music, and I was like, that sucks because like I
It's like
kind of
you
wanted
listen
to
to more, but
yeah, like I kind of wanted to know what was my favorite song, not what song was repeating on stream.
on chat. Yeah,
Yeah,
right, right.
and I didn't even hear it because my thing was muted. I didn't even hear it, but so that was 2020 because I was just streaming lo-fi music all the time. So for
Mhm.
this year, I was like, you know what? I don't want that to happen. I'm actually gonna purchase all the music I use on stream. So I went and I bought all the music, almost all the music that I would use on stream. I paid
Oh,
for it.
nice.
Yeah, and I have that on shuffle repeat on like in a different program. So it's not like in Spotify, right?
Okay, okay.
So that alone was like a couple $100. And that's was just for the lo-fi music, right? So if I wanted to buy all the music that I legitimately listen to, it would be hundreds, easy peasy.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I come from a like when I was buying or listening to music, I would always buy it. Like, when Google was doing, I guess Google Music, right, where you
Yeah.
could buy the albums and singles and stuff, similar to iTunes. Yeah, I'd buy my albums. I would buy things and listen to them, which I miss. I mean, you can still do it on like Amazon or something, but I don't like using Amazon Music. You can, of course, like download the MP3s after you've done it and then just put it on your device. But there was
Yeah.
just something about buying it on my phone and then just having it there. It's like already synced. Everything's already there. Um, and I guess maybe I could just use their app. I don't know. So,
Yeah.
anyways, that was kind of the video game awards in terms of announcements. For the winners, I think we got most of the winners correct. Like we
Yeah.
we
It Takes Two,
somehow,
though, huh? Game of the year.
yeah, It Takes Two, game of the year.
Congrats to honestly, congrats. You know what's funny? I
Homo
saw
getting
this.
up on stage and being like, the Oscars again, because you know what? They got effed. I can't tell if they want him to curse or not curse. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
um, put
You know what's
ringers.
funny about Family Game, the best Family Game?
Is a game, we talked about this. It could not be It Takes Two because it's a game where they get divorced.
But okay, best family game. 4 out of 5 of those games are Nintendo games, and Nintendo didn't even win.
Nintendo, yeah. So It Takes Two, Mario Party Superstars, New Pokemon Snap, Super Mario 3D World, Bowser's Fury, and WarioWare Get It Together. Yeah,
Those are all Nintendo games. Those are all Nintendo games except for one.
This man said, nah.
Can you
we don't
imagine?
go down like
Oh my
that.
god, Nintendo was like, "We're a shoot. We got it, boys. No one's gonna beat. We have 4 to 5 games. No, man.
We got to win one of them. It's so crazy. Like, I could not see this being a family game because I don't think kids would enjoy the content. I think they'd enjoy the puzzles, like the gameplay stuff. That's fine, but I don't think it makes them happy.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
as
why
a kid,
I don't get
I
it.
would definitely pick Mario Party.
Or Pokemon Snap, at least. Some,
Well, I mean, yeah.
one of these three, Mario or Pokemon Snap. That just seems like I could play as a kid by myself or with the family, unless they just don't have good mechanics to play together, and then that's, I guess, a full another story. That's a whole nother that's a whole other thing then.
Yeah.
So, but yes, so game of the year, like we said, did go to It Takes Two. Congrats to them. We did not get this. We said Metroid Dread, if I'm correct, or it might have been Village. It's one of the two.
Nah, I said Dread.
It was Dread. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, It Takes Two. If you haven't played it, definitely go and check it out. You can buy it and then you can play it. Like, you only need one copy of the game. You can gift another copy to the friend.
Yeah, it's
after
kind
you
of
bought
like
it.
what's the one? That prison one? A Way Out. Yeah.
Oh, A Way Out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like A Way Out. Yeah.
Yeah. So, fun times with that game. Best game direction was Deathloop, which didn't actually won a pretty good amount. I gotta say, like, Psychonauts 2 was in just as many categories, but won nothing. Like, Psychonauts 2 won nothing.
But one nothing.
Nothing. I felt really bad. I was like, how can you be
man.
like, they were nominated in just as many categories as Deathloop, but nah, they didn't get nothing. So I felt kind of bad there. Art direction, I guess, yeah, I can just go down here. Art direction was Deathloop, and Psychonauts also there as well. Best soundtrack, which we definitely called, going to Near Replicant.
Yes, I'm glad. I'm glad about that one.
They kind of skipped over. It was like one of those side category things where, like, you don't get on
they
the
like
stage.
rushed about right before an ad break or something. Yeah.
And I was like, oh well, I mean, that sucks, but hey. So that was for that. Best audio design went to Forza 5,
Ooh.
beating out Returnal. I think we chose Returnal just because, I wanted to get that Returnal on there, or it might have been or Village. We might have did one of those two, but Forza got that one in the pre-show. That was like pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
The best performance went to who we got this right here, Lady Dimitritsu with Maggie Robertson. And the craziest thing, I don't know if you saw, is she's like practically as tall as
She is. She did the motion capture and everything for her. Yeah.
I was like, what?
She is that character. Yeah, she is that character.
Dude, I want to see her next to Tiny Tina's voice actress, because she was there at the show too, and that would have been crazy. That would have been That would have
Yeah,
been
she
funny.
did. She is that character essentially. Yeah.
And games for Impact, Life is Strange 3. I think that's what we did say because we didn't know anything else. Like, well, come on, let's get real. We didn't know. We didn't know. Best ongoing game went to FF14, which had an awkward speech. I mean, it was all translated, but the guy translating it already had it written, kind of thing. It was already written,
Oh, okay.
but he was kind of like flubbing it a little bit, and the
Okay.
Japanese guy was just next to him with his arms like just looking like and nodding. That was it.
That's funny. Yeah.
But it was well deserved, you know. And of course, best indie going to Kana. Everyone now finally knows the correct way to say it.
Kana, right?
Kana,
Got it.
Kana, 100%. Can't go wrong now. Best mobile game, Genshin Impact, beating out League of Legends and Pokemon Unite. Any of
Yeah,
those
I don't
games.
know. What do you think? How do you feel about sorry, I'm actually launching Genshin Impact right now, so my cameras, my face is all white. Um what do you think about Genshin getting best mobile game?
I mean, like out of the categories, there were like out of the nominees,
Yeah.
Fantasian, which we talked about, it's an Apple Arcade exclusive, so
I just
not
feel
everyone
like
can
that
even
game
get
could have been
like
so much more, yeah, if it weren't exclusive to Apple Arcade.
League of Legends, Wild Rift, and Pokemon Unite are both MOBAs in the same genre, taking less than Pokemon Unite's about a 10-minute game. Wild Rift is around 10 to 15-minute games, both simplifying the MOBA formula and keeping it relatively fun. Uh, and then there's Marvel Future Revolution. I'm not really 100% sure what that's about, but Genshin, they did have a trailer for. I mean, like it's still just a very popular game. I don't have any issues with it winning in this category. I'm curious to see how long it will win. Like,
The thing about Genshin is they say mobile game, right? But technically
oh,
it's on still on PC, so
some
does
some
that
people some people do try to get it for that, but it still is. I feel like a
primarily a
mobile,
mobile game? Yeah.
yeah, primarily like something you would play on a mobile game. At least the systems feel more mobile.
Yeah, I would agree with you. The HUD as well. The HUD is
Mm-hmm.
very mobile-y. If you play Genshin on PC, I think you might have played on PC, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You can tell that a lot of the way that the HUD looks is very mobile orientated.
Especially when you go to the character menus, and it's just more like I need to play this on a tablet at least. I might
Yeah,
have
or
more fun with it
well, I
or
mean, I played
phone.
on a phone. It's not great, but that's just me. Yeah,
uh, and the best community support went to FF14.
sweet.
I think we did say that one.
Yeah, I did
Or it
call
was
that. Yeah,
best ongoing, and innovation. Okay, so they did explain the innovation in accessibility, and because we were wondering about this, we were like, what
yep.
the heck was this actually? So it was just accessibility options, whether it was for colorblind or in the case of the winner for Forza Horizon 5, they actually had like a sign interpreter on screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just showed. I was like, oh, so that's what this was, dude. That's pretty crazy.
Well, that's
So
pretty
anytime
cool.
there's online, there's
That's
on
cool.
screen dialogue. There's
Yep.
someone on the screen interpreting via sign language. So
Wait, why
that's
couldn't they just have subtitles? Sorry, wait. Why couldn't they just have subtitles?
uh, same
Sorry, I lost.
reason you can't have subtitles right there.
I sorry. Why
I
couldn't
don't
they
know.
just have?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think about this now.
Like, why wouldn't
Uh,
they just have subtitles?
I don't know. I don't know, man. Hey, look, they did something interesting. I don't think anyone's ever just done that before. So let's give them some credit, right?
Maybe signing is. I mean, I'm not hearing impaired, so I legitimately don't know actually. And if you are hearing
You know
impaired,
what?
you can let me know. But yeah,
Maybe it's more natural.
maybe it's faster.
It's
Like maybe
faster.
you can get more information across rather than I'm really guessing because I'm not hearing impaired. I actually don't know. Um,
That's a good question. Like I kind of want now we kind of like have to dive deeper into this because
yeah.
or it'd be nice, yeah. It's a good
Maybe
question.
maybe it is just like it's faster to get your point across than reading something. And maybe it's also like
You
maybe there's
know,
certain things that you can't put in text. Right? I don't
yeah,
know.
you know what? Maybe that, honestly, maybe that could be it. No, reading is, of course, some people, when you read subtitles on a screen, there maybe you don't read as fast, but
Or like
for
maybe
signing, it's the same as speaking, right? It's the same speed, I assume, as like speaking, listening normally.
maybe it's easier like to see it out of the corner of your eye than it is to see subtitles out of the corner of your eye.
That too.
Yeah, I'm
Where
really
yeah,
guessing here.
if
Yeah.
anyone knows or if anyone has like a little bit of an inkling, definitely find us on Twitter at UGP_cast. Send a message there, or on an Anchor page at anchor.fm
like
slash
here's
UGP
this
cast.
is why signing is like better.
Yeah. Best VR and AR goes to Resident Evil 4, which we kind of talked about a little bit earlier. Now I'm thinking about this signing thing, man. Thinking about it.
Yeah,
Best,
that's like really bugging
because
you now.
even on TV, right? If there's like a
Yeah,
program, they do have a sign interpreter, even
right.
though
And they
there
don't.
is closed captions for
Yeah.
official events.
Okay, here's also what I think. If it's live captions, rather, is that, and this is before text to, or speech to text rather was it's still not that reliable. But when you have someone giving a speech, to have a live signer is a lot faster and natural and real time than having a live what's the word
Someone typing it or something.
yeah, what's the word?
I forgot what you called I forgot what you called them.
Not a dictator.
Dictationist.
That's the one. Yes. So it's like signing is way faster than dictation, and that's probably traditionally why you would have signing for speeches, that kind of stuff. But for a video game though, that's what I'm a little confused about. I'm not sure.
Best action game, Returnal. We did call that out of like Back 4 Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, and Far Cry.
I think we said Chivalry,
6.
didn't we?
Oh no, we did. We want to give it
Yeah.
to Chivalry. Give it to Chivalry. That good old Chivalry, which I think they're having like a pretty big update or a free to play part coming up pretty soon. Free to play weekend. Best action adventure game. We did get this as well. Metroid Dread literally has action and adventure in it.
Yeah. Also Dread, best Dread game.
Yeah, game you dread to play because of its difficulty. You dread it. Best role playing went to Tales of Arise.
Yeah, that was honestly that was a surprise, to be honest.
Ehe was a little bit upset with this because Ehe was like, "Yo, Shin Megami Tensei 5, yeah, SMT 5. Like, why not that?" The only thing I could say is like it wasn't out long enough, and then I would also say like maybe it just shouldn't have been in the category. It's kind of a weird thing because it hasn't been out long enough, and at the same time, you got Cyberpunk 2077 over there sitting like what, and Monster Hunter, which
Poor
no one knows why.
Cyberpunk. Are you ever gonna win anything? Yeah.
Not anymore.
No, we had this discussion when we were talking about the Game Awards, but for technically role playing, to pretend you're in a role, Cyberpunk I think is a better game. But if the question is best RPG, and this is like encompassing the genre of RPG, like so this would be like Dragon Age and Mass Effect and Final Fantasy and everything. Sure, Tales of Arise for me. Yeah.
Yep. Best fighting goes to Guilty Gear Strive.
Good.
And
I still can't believe Melty Blood is on there. That was weird.
It did come out, so
yeah, yeah, but
it did come out like a month later.
Who was gonna vote Melty Blood? Honestly,
I mean, like if you look at this list between Demon Slayer, Guilty Gear Strive, Melty Blood, Type Lumina, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, and then Virtual Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. Technically, yes, all these games came out this year. Some of them came out like last month, aka Demon Slayer.
Virtual Fighter 5 doesn't fucking count. It's a
and
re-release of a
VF5
game
is
that's
a
like 6 years old.
Exactly.
7 years. How old is that game?
That game is technically, if you want to go all the way back, it's on PS3.
Yeah, that one doesn't count.
That is like launch
2006?
PS3.
2006?
I told you, that's launch PS3. I skipped school. Well, I actually asked my parents if I could miss school early, like get out of school early to go over, like get it from the store.
I want to put
2006,
this in I want to put this in perspective for you. 2006 was 15 years ago.
I mean, it's been updated. There is an Xbox version or Xbox 360 version with online, but yes, the Showdown. Yeah, I mean the original is from 2006. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it was Virtua Fighter, and then Virtua Fighter 5R, and then Final Showdown, and now it's Ultimate Showdown.
Yeah. Which for anyone who is playing that, they just added the crossover for the Yakuza games.
Oh yeah, Yakuza game. Yeah, have you seen that?
Dude, yeah, it is so awesome.
It's so funny.
Brad straight up looks like Ichiban. Like, dude,
I was like, dude, like, like I was like, this is the closest thing we're ever gonna get to a Yakuza fighting game.
It's pretty spot on. They have all like a lot of the iconic characters, their clothes. It's not their faces or anything, but just their clothing and music. Yeah, there's music from the Yakuza series. They added, I think there's like 300 something customization items they've added. Like it's a pretty big update just for $10, or I guess
for all your
Yakuza
stuff. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think that's the last category outside. We talked about best family game, It Takes Two, best strategy, Age of Empires 4, and best sports, Forza Horizon, best multiplayer, It Takes Two. Wasn't much in that title. Yeah, It Takes Two. Beating out Valheim. I think we thought Valheim was going to get that, and then after that it was just the content creators and the esports and all that stuff.
Right.
We don't care about them.
Like we can, yeah, we can not see those.
They're done.
Yeah.
Bye bye guys. But overall, like the show this year, like I said, it was a 3-hour show. I hope next year it goes back to being like a 2-hour or an hour and a half show. I don't know if I was impressed by a lot of the announcements. Slitterhead was pretty hype. Glad I got to see more on Hellblade. They did have a trailer for A Plague's Tale. The next in that game, that I got hyped for that for real. And that was kind of it. The Elden Ring story trailer was really cool, but in terms of like new announcements, I guess it would have been like Slitterhead for me when it was.
Yeah, that was a cool one to see. That was a good surprise.
I guess surprise announcements. I guess that's even better. Though most of these games we didn't know about.
I guess there is no Chrono Cross remake, huh?
You know what? We almost like I forgot about it. Holy crap!
I guess there's no Chrono Cross remake.
Well, we still have Sony's potential event. People really want this event to actually happen. Like it's the scrounge it together. Sony's gonna have an event in 2 weeks before the end of the year. They usually have a PlayStation Experience event in December, but it's always the first or second week. It's not. I don't know. People want it. They want this. So
I wonder, like honestly, I wonder what the chances of an actual Chrono Cross remake coming out are. Like, is it really happening, or is it just that mobile?
Another Eden? Was it?
Yeah, crossover thing. Yeah.
That's a good question. Because then we run back into the discussion of why cross not trigger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One of them arguably did better. One of them arguably doesn't have a divide. Some people don't like. Some people felt betrayed or like, what is this Chrono Cross? It's not what I wanted.
Chrono Cross?
Yeah,
Chrono Cross took a long time. If you never played both of them, right?
No.
Yeah, Chrono Cross took a while for it to reveal how it's connected to Trigger. It's a story twist, basically, but
okay,
it's pretty cool actually. But it didn't really feel like Trigger for most of the game, all the game actually, in terms of like how it felt. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. The more I thought about a Chrono Cross remake, the more I was like, you know what? Yeah, do it. I want to see it. I want to see it happen. And then when the Another Eden mobile game announced the collab, I guess you want to. I don't even know what it's called.
It's a event collab.
Yeah. I was like, is that really all it is? I hope it's more than this, because it was the first time like these characters, Surge, Kid, and Harl, have voices. Actually, they got voice actors. So
yeah,
it's kind of cool to hear these silent characters for so long to talk. So I was like, yeah, do a remake, but with the Game Awards, like coming and going, and nothing about Chrono Cross. I don't know. Is that it? Maybe I don't know. The Sony wouldn't announce anything, right? Or
yeah, if it's, I mean, they could pay to similar like a FF16 and stuff. I could see them doing that. Like just paying to say like, hey, you can play it on PlayStation. Of course, you can play it on everyone else, but yeah. I mean, that would be something. That's a huge thing. It's also a series that was Cross specifically on PlayStation only.
Yep, it was a PlayStation exclusive. It never came to anything. Not PC. Not what was the PlayStation generation? What was the rival consoles for PlayStation?
Dreamcast,
N64, right?
N64, or N64.
Yeah, so no, because Chrono Cross was PlayStation only.
Well, I guess maybe that could give us a little bit of hint of if it actually does, because the other game has been remade on everything under the sun, like a Skyrim almost. Oh, almost. Not really remade, but
you mean like Chrono Trigger?
It's been made available, yeah. Chrono Trigger's been made available on multiple.
On like everything, yeah. Mobile phones, PC, PlayStation, not Switch. It should be. It's a good match for the Switch.
It's a good match.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hopefully, if that does come true, then maybe we will actually see it, and people can rejoice as a Christmas present or holiday present type deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that'll do it for us this week, and we can look forward to more announcements maybe at next year's Video Game Awards. I'm going to be going to the U.S. for I guess like a couple weeks over the holidays. We've got a couple of episodes for you already recorded, and we hope that you'll enjoy those. And I think when we come back, unless maybe Alex wants to do it, like just before that, we can definitely do the game of the year big discussion that we always have. Discussion.
Yeah, I think it'd
it's
be
more
fun
like
to
what
do.
we like.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be fun to do with a bunch of people like we did last year.
We gotta get some new blood on here too.
I have no idea what I would pick for game of the year though. Like I don't remember what I played.
The crazy thing is after I finished up It Takes Two, I was like, this is almost like game of the year. But I didn't think that it could actually. I didn't think anyone would actually vote that game of the year.
Really?
That was literally the reason that in my mind when after I finished, I was like, this game surprised me more than it should have. There's like Diablo segments in there. There's fighter pilot segments like a Rogue Squadron. They're all done really good, like really well. And I just wasn't expecting it. I had a lot of fun because it's just like Portal 2 or any of those co-op games. You have to talk with your friend. You have to look at their screen. It forces you. You have to talk.
Right.
And I just thought the designs, every puzzle was different. And it's all segmented in like this section uses this mechanics. This goes to this mechanics. But it's always new. It's always fresh. And that's why it was strange. Like, man, they did a great job on this. I shouldn't like this, but I do.
I shouldn't like this.
I shouldn't like this, but I do. So, anyways, until then, you can find us, like I said, on our Twitter at UGP_cast, on the YouTube at Unknown Games Podcast, and then you can follow us on Twitch at NinjaTrixta and Root24.
Yeah, that should be it. Come hang out and see you guys next time.
There we go. We'll see you all next time. I was trying to think of like what week the next episode's coming out.
No, yeah.
We'll see you next time for episode number. It'll be a bonus episode kind of thing. So
sure.
Not number.
Yeah.
And then on Games Podcast. Until then, you set the tone. Go play some games. Bye bye.
All right. Peace.
Yeah.